you bought it, what level you bought it at, how long you'd like to hold it as well. Now, the first question I'm taking is from Kumar, and he's asking about metals. He was tuned in to the BNSN lens, and unfortunately we couldn't get into too much more detail on the steel names, but he's asking about Nalco, Kunal, and he's asking whether now is a good time to acquire a fresh buy for the long term. What's the view?
Well, my belief is that many of these metal stocks are going through a cyclical correction. It's been only 3 months that we've seen the metal stocks, even the case with Nalco getting into a correction. I think the stock made a high which was closer to 130. Now the stock is at 80, 82 levels. So price-wise, yes, very attractive. But we've seen metal stocks going into very sharp periods of rallies and very sharp periods of correction as well. So I would suggest to wait out for maybe at least another few weeks. If stocks like Nalco finds a base, say closer to 70, 75, the fall gets arrested, and you see a gradual recovery, and keep that as a support and a stop loss and build up positions over here. But at least as of now, I would wait and watch, not initiate any fresh trades on stocks like Nalco.
All right, this one is coming from Dasaradi. He's writing to us from Vijayawada, and he's holding Equitas Small Bank, about 1,000 shares at the price of 33 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he can book profits, hold or exit, or actually look to average at these levels. What's your take on this one, Kunal?
Well, I would suggest to hold on, not to average at current levels. The reason for suggesting a hold is because the stock is hugely divergent from its longer-term averages. I think, if I'm not wrong, there's almost a 50% divergence from the stock price to the the 200-day moving average for Equitas. And I think at current levels of 78 approximately, I would suggest to wait out for maybe at least another few weeks. If the stock bounces back, the bounce back could lead the stock back towards 85, 95 kind of a zone. That's where I believe you can probably trim your stake or your holdings from Equitas.
Padma Sivarao, who's writing in, has an interesting question, and this one's for you, Vikas. It's on Tata Motors, and he says that he's got. I'm so sorry. I think I've got it wrong. Padma is asking. Padma is a woman. Padma, thank you so much for tuning in. She's asking about Tata Motors, which she's making 100% gains in. And she's asking whether to sell Tata Motors and buy Tata Motors DVR at this point to make use of the discount.
Yeah, Alex, as far as Tata Motors is concerned, I remain bullish on the stock. The stock has corrected sharply from its recent highs, and at the current levels, it presents a very good opportunity for even new investors to buy into the stock. I think it's a very good company, and with the kind of first-run advantage which the company is getting because of the launch of electric vehicle in the country, I think it would do well in the coming months, coming quarters. And as far as her question regarding switching to Tata DVR is concerned, I think it would make sense to get into Tata DVR at the current levels. The discount is big and it would narrow down in the future. So I think she should convert Tata Motors stock to Tata Motors DVR, because it's a company where it's a company or a management where you can rely on, where you do not need voting rights, and such a big discount is not warranted.
Right, this one is coming from Shrikar Reddy, and he wants to know whether he can buy KIMS, that's KIMS, and Vijaya Diagnostics at current levels for the longer term. What's your take on this one, Vikas? How do both of these counters look like to you for the longer term? Makes sense to enter right now?
I think from among both the stocks, I think KIMS would present a better opportunity to buy into the current levels, although all these stocks have corrected sharply over the last month or so. But I think KIMS has come down to a level where it could be considered for a long-term investment. So I would bet on KIMS at the current levels.
Interesting question for you, Kunal, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Is it the right time to indulge in futures or options? I want to buy June future contracts in Infosys, HDFC Bank and Reliance. What's the advice here?
So it is always a time to try and indulge into F&O, provided you have your risk metrics and the discipline, etc. at play. So that's the first port of call whenever you use such kind of leverage instrument. Coming to the names of the stocks which you mentioned, I would believe that stocks like Infosys, HDFC Bank, etc. They should not be looked at pure as F&O plays from current levels. There's been a sharp if I can use that word, damage into the stock prices in the last 5-6 months of the price correction for these names. And we've seen that the ability of these stocks over longer term, that they can withstand major part of the correction and still be one of the first stocks to try and make a strong comeback whenever the market or the economy makes a comeback for themselves. So I think in that aspect, these are names which you should look out for more from a portfolio buy rather than just a trading buy.
Okay, this one is from Muthupalani, and Rainbow Children Medicare is the counter that he has purchased, and he's actually got this since the IPO allotment. But now he wants to know, can he average on dips? Vikas, do you track this one, Rainbow Children Medicare?
Sorry, Cheryl, I don't track this counter and will not be able to offer my opinion on the same.
You also wouldn't be tracking it given that it is a recently listed counter.
Absolutely, Cheryl. No view on that. Okay. No view on this.
Okay, then why don't we take a question, gentlemen, on hospital shares in general. Apollo is something that has gotten beaten down quite substantially. Vikas, would you say that this kind of a price drop is something that you can utilize as an investor if you believe in the long-term prospects of this company?
Yeah, Alex, as far as hospital stocks are concerned, Apollo Hospital remains to be the favorite bet. And the stock has corrected also sharply over the last few months. And I think it's presenting a good opportunity for long-term investors to buy into the stock. And the other stock from the sector which I like is an Aster DM Healthcare, which is again a hospital stock trading at pretty good levels. And I think if one has a medium to long-term horizon, one could look at that also.
All right, so the next question is coming in from Mr. Singh. He's writing in Pune. I'm going to try and ask this. Kunal, if you have a view on Rajratan White, this is a counter that Mr. Singh from Pune wants to know about, and whether you can suggest a good entry level for this.
See, I'm not sure if the stock is the one which I can spot it on my charts, but I think it's a stock which I think is priced at 640.43. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I'll probably try and give a view on that stock. So it's been one of the few names which is again low liquid. The liquidity is quite shallow for this name, just about some 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 on an average as the trading volumes. But purely in terms of charts, I think it's still a better chart. Compared to many of these other low liquid names, because the stock, even in the last many months of the price correction, has still managed to withstand its long-term averages. It's managed to withstand its price steadily on the upside. So Rajratan at 643, I would suggest that if you are looking to buy, you can look to buy at current levels, but the quantity etc. have to be adjusted. And if this uptrend continues, then the stock can hit back its previous high, which is 800, which it had hit I think the month of April.
Okay, this next one is from Naveen, and he's holding Adani Wilmar at a price of around 418 rupees per share. He's currently in 50% profit. Now he wants to know whether he should continue to hold on to it or accumulate some more on dips. Vikas, Adani Wilmar, what's your view on this one?
No, I think the best strategy would be to continue to hold on to it, but I would not recommend buying into the stock at these prices. The valuations look expensive. The investor has done well by buying it at a lower price and sitting on handsome gains. But I think he should continue to hold on to whatever quantity he has bought. But fresh buying is not recommended at the current levels. I feel valuations are expensive.
Yes, you may or may not have a view on this. Hindustan Motors. We've got a question coming in from Sorish, and he's saying that he bought this counter at levels of 18.8. and it is in lower circuit today, and he's looking to exit. What advice would you give to him? It's currently trading at 24.25.
Is the question for me?
Yes, Vikas, this is for you.
The stock of late has done well. It was on upper circuit for last so many days, and today it's gone on lower circuit. I think some news could be expected because this company, in my opinion, was a closed one. But I think they've recently done some tie-up for some electric vehicles, and which is the trigger why the stock has been running on upper circuit for the past few days.
So, know whether he can enter Sona BLW as a fresh buy. What's your take on this one, Kunal?
Sona BLW. So I don't track this stock.
Oh yes, it's a recently listed counter as well. I forgot about that. What's your take on this one, Vikas? Do you track this one?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite picks from the auto component space. It's one of the best companies to ride on the electric vehicles space. This company is a leading manufacturer of EV components for several companies, and they've also tied up. Or they are the one. They are among the one of the three companies which have been chosen by Tesla also to source their components. So I'm bullish on the stock. The fundamentals are very good. The company has really good return ratios, operating margins. So I remain bullish on this. So it could be even bought at these levels, I feel. So I think it's a good long-term story and should be bought at every decline.
I'm not very sure, Kunal, when you gave this buy call on Ashok Leyland, I think you'd given a call this morning on Ashok Leyland, and in fact, Anjali Uttam Chandani is writing in from Nashik, and she's saying she's making a profit on this. She's asking how long to continue holding this.
Well, it's a very short-term play. I think 139 was the target which I had given in the morning. The stock is, I think, at 136 approximately. So, it's up some 1.5 to 2% so far. I would probably expect that this could just be a short-term intraday play. I think the bigger part of the trend and the play in terms of stocks should open up post the outcome from the Fed policy. So once that is clear, I believe that buying these stocks, maybe even if they are up a couple of percentage points higher, I think that should not deter the short-term traders. So yes, Ashok Leyland was one of the calls which I had given yesterday as well as today morning. 139 is the short-term target.
139 is the short-term target on Ashok Leyland, and yes, Kunal has been pretty upbeat on this particular counter as well, and it was given as a buy call this morning as well on the channel. Let's take this next one from Neha, and she's saying she's bought Oil India at an average price of 226 rupees per share. She's saying she's sitting on a 17% profit, but for the last few days we've seen the prices for Oil India actually dip. She wants to know whether now she should hold or book profits with a 3 to 6 month view. What's your take on this one, Kunal?
See, I think Oil India is going through a correction. This is the third day where the stock is corrected after a steep rally from 225 to 300 plus in the previous month. So when correction starts off, after such a kind of a vertical kind of a rally, you expect the corrections also to be very sharp. But then the prices also settle back into a decent trading range. So I believe 240 to 50 could be a decent trading range where the correction should hold and the stock should make a dash back again higher. So if you are making profits, you can either trail your stop losses and hold up for higher targets, or if you're looking out to exit, then I believe 275 to 80 could be a good price where you can look to book out full profits.
Vikas, this next one's for you. Rate Gain Travel Technologies is the name of the counter. We've got a question coming in from Rajesh Kakkad, who's writing in from Punjab, and he's saying that he's acquired this at levels of 350, which is slightly elevated, I think. So he's asking whether to hold for the medium term.
I think it's a hold at the current levels. I think it's a good company. It's a play on the opening up theme. It caters to most of the airline companies and travel companies. It's a solid company with good fundamentals. The stock has corrected in line with the market sentiments, but I think from here on, if the markets improve, the stock is going to go up. So although the investor is sitting on losses, but I think he should continue to hold on to it and give some time to the stock. I think in a year's time, he should be able to recover his losses.
So Amrita wants a view on HDFC Limited at current levels. He wants to know whether it can be accumulated right now.
Okay. So yes, from an accumulation point, you can start off accumulating HDFC Limited at current levels. In fact, I was looking at the charts for the financial services index as such, and I think the financial services index is getting into a zone where you might.
Okay, I think I think we're having a little bit of an issue with your feed, Kunal. We'll come back to that in just a bit. Okay, since we're back, was that a buy call on HDFC Limited? Oh, okay, I think we've frozen again. We'll try and fix that in the break. Viewers, do stay tuned. We are going to stay with queries, and we've got quite a few more to answer. So stay tuned. We'll be back before you know it.
can anybody add to that?
Stock markets is a numbers game, and it sometimes does come across as one-dimensional. But what people don't see is that these numbers, when strung together, tell a story. There's no really black or white. It very much seems to be a work in progress of triumphs and mistakes, greed and fear. And I bring you that story behind the numbers in action.
The personal finance show that helps you achieve all your financial dreams.
This show gets you everything that you need to know about your money, how to earn more, invest smartly, and spend while getting the best bang for your buck.
From the perfect home to early retirement and everything in between.
Real estate, everyone knows, is an asset that Indians absolutely love, maybe even more than gold.
Join us every weekday at 5 p.m. on the ET Money Show. Investment made easy. Only on ET Now.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge.
See, Nikunj, you are a very seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail on the head.
I think you have always kept the focus on the retail investor, and I think it's again a very apt, very good question.
Nikunj, first of all, thank you so much. You are one person I've always enjoyed interacting throughout last 15-20 years.
You know, the problem on coming on your channel is that you already know everything. I just heard your introduction. And what can anybody add to that?
Stock markets is a numbers game, and it sometimes does come across as one-dimensional. But what people don't see is that these numbers, when strung together, tell a story. There's no really black or white. It very much seems to be a work in progress of triumphs and mistakes, greed and fear. And I bring you that story behind the numbers in action.
The personal finance show that helps you achieve all your financial dreams.
This show gets you everything that you need to know about your money, how to earn more, invest smartly. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now. A lot of breaking news coming your way in just a bit. For now, let's stick with queries, though, and we've got Vikas as well as Kunal who are answering all of your questions. Kunal, I'll come to you first on this one. Kunal Thakkar from Mumbai is asking for Nifty targets for Thursday expiry. Can he trade 15,900?
Very difficult to say. Alex, I think I'll probably wait out for the event to pass out today. Tomorrow morning, I think if the markets open with even a slight bit of a gap up, I think that could be a good opportunity to try and chip into the markets, because then one big event would be out, one big risk would be out of the market. So I think it's more prudent to try and take a view tomorrow.
50 or 75, that's really the question, right? It's an interesting point, because, this another question is coming in this context as well. This is from Abhinay, and this is on the fundamentals, Vikas. I don't know if you can draw a direct correlation, but if you talk about the FOMC meeting and the possibility and the probability, the distinct probability of rates going up quite significantly, what are the implications for financial companies here in India? So he's asking about banking stocks and how they could be impacted, if at all, if rates go up substantially in the US.
Yeah, the first thing is the markets have already priced in a rate hike of 75 basis points this evening. We'll get to know by 11:30 in the evening, and I'm sure it would be 0.75% and not 0.5%. And the markets have more or less priced in that. And to add to that, in the next two policies also, I think there would be rate hikes, at least 50 basis points, if not more. So, and in a scenario where interest rates are rising, that should be taken as, I think, positive for banking stocks. The one change which has happened with our banking sector over the last 3 or 4 quarters is the quality of the balance sheet of the top 500 companies have improved quite dramatically. Most of the companies are in good shape today. Most of the debt-ridden companies have been able to clear off their dues, their debts, and they are in an expansion mode. They would be putting up new capex, which would be pretty positive for banking sector. So I think as far as interest rates hike goes, they pass on to their consumers. They would hike both the lending rates as well as the deposit rates. So I don't think that would have a much bigger impact on banks. But I think banks are going to gain out of the quality of the balance sheet, which most of the corporates have been able to see an improvement in.
All right. This next query that I have is actually coming in from KJ Singh, and he's writing to us from New Delhi. Long-term view on alkyl amines. He's already bought at the levels of 2,700 rupees per share for the longer term. He wants to know whether he can buy more or average at current price. What's your take on this one, Vikas? How does this one look over the longer term, and make sense to buy some more or average at current price?
Yeah, it's a great company, a very good company, and I remain bullish on this. The long-term prospects look very good. I think the investor should continue to hold on to the stock and also can add on to this stock on every decline. So I remain bullish, and I think the stock can give you a 25% to 30% upside in the next 1 year or so.
Okay. All right. On that note, let's slip into the rapid fire segment because we have a lot of questions still lined up. Gentlemen, you know the drill, so I'm going to come to you first, Mr. Vikas Sethi, on SpiceJet. Sanya is asking about this. She's bought at levels of 81 rupees per share, and she's asking whether to average at this point. Should she hold on? Should she exit? What's the view?
I think hold the bet at the current levels. I would not recommend adding on to it, but she can certainly hold at the current levels.
Okay, Jai Krishnan has KPR Mills bought at 706 rupees per share for the medium term. Wants to know whether to hold or sell, and if sell, suggest a stock to enter at current levels. Kunal?
I think it's a definite hold for KPR.
Okay, which is better for the next 1 year, Gujarat Fluorochemicals or GNFC? Kunal, this one's for you. And would you suggest that the entry price, the current one, is a good one?
Both of the stocks are quite attractive. Gujarat Fluorochemicals probably stands out because of the less degree of volatility. I would prefer that.
Okay, Rajagopalan has bought Singer India at 58 rupees per share. Wants to know whether it's good time to average. Do you track this one, Vikas, by any chance?
Sorry, Cheryl, I do not track.
MSTC is the name of the counter. Akash from Delhi needs a view on this one. He's bought at levels of... he's saying that he's making 40% losses. What's the view, Kunal?
You can hold on for near-term targets of almost 320 on Nifty.
Okay, Godfrey D'Souza wants to know for the long term, how does CDSL look? What's your take, Vikas?
Certainly a hold. I'm bullish on the stock.
Okay. Question coming in from Saroj Kumar Karmarkar, who's writing in from West Bengal. Honeywell Auto, he's asking if this is a promising counter to buy, or would you buy something else from the cap goods space? Mr. Vikas, this one's for you.
The Honeywell Automation again is a great company to own, and I think we should continue to hold on to this.
Okay, Soumitra wants a view on HDFC. We had taken this query to you, Kunal, earlier, could not complete it. Should he accumulate at these levels, HDFC Limited? Kunal.
Yeah, you can start to accumulate at current levels, and possibly the stock gives another 5%, look to average further.
Okay, unfortunately, we're completely out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. I know that it was a little bit stunted because of the breaking news. But gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time and for answering all the questions that you did answer today. Viewers who've been missed out, and there are quite a few of you I see. Well, don't lose heart. We'll start taking queries again tomorrow, so you can tune in and get your questions answered live. For now, we have to slip into a very short break. On the other side, we've got more, so do stay tuned. And spend while getting the best bang for your buck.
From the perfect home to early retirement and everything in between.
Real estate, everyone knows, is an asset that Indians absolutely love, maybe even more than gold.
Join us every weekday at 5 p.m. on the ET Money Show. Investment made easy. Only on ET Now.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge.
See, Nikunj, you're a very seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail